lot of flaws in his game plan, and it didn't take somebody knowing him, personally, to, I guess, to have an edge over him. But like I said, I mean, everything that we have worked on, is for, what pertains to his style, the way he fights.
I know all those feedback drills when he hit it up, down, and then the little bag work where you gotta go like this, all day long. So I know exactly how he's training, and I know how I could train even better.
I know I'm the champion for a reason. I know everything that I've been doing in the gym, everything I've been doing to prepare for this fight. I'm ready. I'm not a talker when it comes to all this, but every time I get in there, I fight. I leave it all in there, just making him uncomfortable. Just trying to exploit his weaknesses, and yeah, just every round, just making him uncomfortable.
All right, Ryan, I'll give you the last word. Do you think he can make you uncomfortable? Do you think he can make you ask questions in the ring?
No. I don't.
Mario Barrios and Ryan Garcia have expressed their final thoughts in the last press conference before the much-awaited showdown.
All the hard work that I've been putting in since, coming from Victorville and everything, just kind of throwing everything back. So it feels good to be back with my dad, and technically we are undefeated, so together, and we're going to continue the streak.
Mario Barrios opens up about his confidence as the champion and why he's ready for this fight. He's focused on his training and preparation in the gym, saying he doesn't need to talk much, he always gives everything inside the ring. This Saturday, he plans to leave it all on the line.
I know I'm the champion for a reason. I know everything that I've been doing in the gym, everything I've been doing to prepare for this fight. I'm ready. I'm not a talker when it comes to all this, but every time I get in there, I fight. I leave it all in there, and that's exactly what I'm looking forward to this Saturday.
Ryan Garcia is excited about stepping into the ring, saying he's prepared as much as he can be. He explains that while sparring and training give clues, you never really know how sharp your opponent is until the fight starts. For him, it's about bringing his best and trusting that when he's in the ring, he'll be at 100%, ready to handle whatever comes.
And what are you bringing to the table in this fight?
I mean, there's not a lot that I guess I haven't seen in the sport of boxing. Long amateur career, the amount of fights I've had, all the sparring I have, so I don't think he's quite right about that. But you kind of never really know until you're in the ring how sharp the person really is. I hear a couple things in his sparring and a couple things in his training, but you can't really go off of that. So for me, I'm just preparing myself, and I have as the best as I possibly can. And now when I step in that ring, I know myself will be 100%. So we just have to see when he's in there how he is. But I definitely don't think it's something I haven't seen.
Meanwhile, Ryan discusses how his former trainer Joe Goosen is now working with his opponent, but he sees it as an advantage. He knows all the drills, routines, and how to push his training even harder. Confident in his conditioning and road work, he says when fight night comes, he'll be stronger, sharper, and ready to dominate.
More an advantage for Mario, or do you think it's an advantage for you?
It's definitely, I've said this before, I think it's an advantage for me. I definitely know how he's training. I know all those feedback drills when he hit it up, down, and then the little bag work where you gotta go like this, all day long. So I know exactly how he's training, and I know how I could train even better because I've trained exactly how Joe, and I've done everything Joe has asked as well when I was in there. So, and Joe knows I'm a hell of a runner. I don't think there's any fighter that could run better than me, road work wise. So he knows I could push it, and I could be a mean motherfucker. Come Saturday night, I'm gonna be a mean motherfucker.
Mario Barrios shares how working with Joey helped him fine-tune every part of his game. They focused on offense, defense, and the areas he felt were missing in his last fights. With plenty of rounds and hard work in the gym, he's very happy with how camp went and feels fully ready for the fight.
Yeah, no, the working with Joey definitely, just like we just fine-tuned everything. Offense, defense, things that I felt that I was missing in my last couple of performances. And we got plenty of work in the gym. We got plenty of rounds of sparring. I'm very happy with the way things went during this camp, and I really couldn't ask for much more. And yeah, like I'm just ready.
Mario Barrios explains that he didn't work with Joe because of Ryan Garcia, but Joe's knowledge of Ryan has still been useful. By studying film and analyzing Ryan's past performances, they spotted flaws in his style. Mario focused on training for everything he needs to succeed against Ryan's approach, making sure he's fully prepared for fight night.
I mean, I think how Joe said, I think just watching film on Ryan and his past couple of performances, we can see a lot of flaws in his game plan, and it didn't take somebody knowing him, personally, to, I guess, to have an edge over him. But like I said, I mean, everything that we have worked on, is for, what pertains to his style, the way he fights, and I think we worked on everything that I need to be successful.
Joe Goosen highlights Mario Barrios as a model fighter in the gym during this 3-month training camp. Mario has tackled every assignment and knows Ryan Garcia is tough, which drives him to work even harder. With the world champion fully focused, their main goal is clear: retain the title and keep it.
How has training camp gone with Mario? What have you guys been working on, and what do you think he's going to show on Saturday?
Well, Mario has been a model fighter in the gym during this training camp for 3 months. He's exceeded expectations. He's tackled every assignment I've given him. He knows that Ryan's a tough guy. That's why he works so hard. They're both great fighters. I've got the world champion sitting right here. And, our goal, basically, we have one goal, and that's to retain the title and keep it.
Goosen explains that Mario Barrios didn't become world champion by accident. He has talent and great qualities. By analyzing him from the outside, they identified areas to improve offensively and defensively. The training focused on conditioning, more rounds, tighter defense, and making his offense even more explosive. Mario tackled everything in camp, proving to be a superior student in the gym, and Joe expects him to give it his all on Saturday night.
Look, he didn't get to be champ of the world because he couldn't fight. Mario's got a lot of talent. He's got a lot of great qualities. But sometimes when you have somebody looking from the outside and dissecting what you're looking at, you're going to find things that are meaningful in a fight, offensively and defensively. And those are the issues that we've addressed. On top of conditioning, more rounds, more aggressiveness, tightening the defense, and making the offense more explosive than it already was. So, just an overall overhaul, I could say. But the great thing about it was everything that we worked on, Mario really conquered and tackled, and was just a superior student in the gym. He was great to work with.
Hall of Famer and Ryan's promoter, Oscar De La Hoya, is fully confident in him, seeing a fire in his eyes that only true fighters have. After going back to train with his father and preparing the old-school way, Ryan is ready for his world title shot. The promoter knows Mario Barrios won't back down, but believes Ryan is prepared for a war, and this fight will be action-packed from start to finish.
How confident are you that Ryan's going to get it done?
100%. I really feel Ryan, when I saw him in last press conference in LA, I saw something in his eyes that only fighters see. Right? I've been in this game forever, so I can see that fire, that spark. I can see the fact that he went back to his father and they're training, going back old school and getting ready for a world title shot. This is a fight that he's been waiting for all his life. And guess what? He is ready. 1,000,000% he is ready. So this fight here
It's going to be one of those action-packed fights because Barrios doesn't back down. I have to give it to Barrios. He's the world champion. I have to give it to every fighter out there who steps inside that ring and puts their life on the line. But I'm telling you one thing, this is a great matchup. But I love Ryan's chances because what I see and what I smell in the air, man, he's ready, he's prepared, and it's going to be a war.
All right.
Ryan Garcia also shares that winning a world title is not just about him, it's about making his dad proud. He believes that this championship will hold special significance for his family and himself. At the same time, he wants to carry the title with honor, being the best champion both in and out of the ring. Ryan feels ready now, confident that this marks the start of a new rise for him and his legacy.
You said winning a world title would be important for you, but you said it'd be even more important maybe for your dad. Why do you think that?
Well, you know, I always see myself, like when I feel fulfilled, it's when I'm walking that narrow path with God. So for this championship, I just feel like it's gonna make my dad's life. Something about, you know, this is gonna do something great for him in his heart. Of course, it means a lot for me, and I'm gonna hold it with honor and pride, and be the best champion I possibly can inside and outside the ring. And I think I'm ready now as a person and as a fighter to do that. So you're gonna see the start of a whole new rise, you know, the King Ryan Empire, and yeah, I'm excited.
Mario Barrios also talks about his goals for the fight, while acknowledging the hype around Ryan Garcia. He believes Garcia has earned his place in boxing, but much of the extra attention comes from his presence as an influencer, mixing entertainment with real fighting ability.
Nah, Ryan is where he's at for a reason. You know, like Ryan is really good. But it's also one of those things is like where like he has the additional hype from like social media and then just like that world. And I think Ryan is one of those rare cases, right, where like influencer streamer meets an like actual like fighter. You know, I've said it before. So yeah, I feel like that's the only reason. I'm not saying he's overhyped. It's just I think he just brings that like noise and that attention, you know, from that like that influencer like circle. So
live exclusively on DAZN, a champion with a disputed crown, a self-proclaimed king without a throne. Vegas crowns champions, Barrios versus Garcia, February 21st. Enter the promo code at checkout to get an exclusive discount on the pay-per-view when bought with a DAZN subscription. Rules and restrictions apply.
Meanwhile, boxing legend Teddy Atlas weighs in on the fight between Ryan Garcia and Mario Barrios, saying the outcome will depend on Garcia's mental state. He points out that Garcia is young, fast, explosive, and technically skilled, with a sharp left hook to both head and body. The key question, Atlas explains, is consistency. He doesn't know which version of Garcia will show up, making mindset the deciding factor.
I think what this comes down to is what it always comes down now with Ryan Garcia. Psychologically, where is he? Mentally, where is he? You know, which Ryan Garcia is going to show up? Does he even know? You know, I think that's what it comes down to. I always say, I've said it for years, 75% of this business is mental. With Ryan Garcia, it might be 95%. I mean, he's not used up physically. He's still young. He's fine physically. He's got, you know, he's got the speed advantage. He's got the power advantage. He's more quick twitch. He's more, you know, he's more explosive. He's the more explosive fighter here. He's got that real good kind of left hook. He throws it to the head or the body. He's a talented, athletic fighter who is not consistent. He's not consistent because mentally, you don't know where he's at in the last couple of years of his life, in his boxing life. We just don't know where he's at. And
Teddy Atlas breaks down Mario Barrios, calling him a steady, high-output fighter who uses a long, effective jab to control the pace and set up his attacks. He highlights Barrios' technical skill, ability to fight both inside and outside, and strength in working the body, noting that as an experienced former champion, he'll bring maximum effort to the fight.
Gonna throw punches. His punch number is always going to be good. He's got that long jab. He's going to use that jab. He's technically sound. He's going to use that jab, you know, to set everything up. He can fight on the outside. He likes to be aggressive. At some point, he'll try to come in behind that jab. He likes to go to the body. He can fight inside or outside, as I just mentioned. You've got a experienced former champion in different weight classes that will show up to give his all, 100%. He'll leave it in the ring, and you know what he brings.
Gary Russell Jr. hopes Garcia comes out on top, but leans towards Mario Barrios, pointing out that Barrios has been more active while Garcia has dealt with inactivity and a loss to Rolando Romero. He expects Garcia to use his next training camp to shake off ring rust and show improvements, but ultimately he wants the best fighter to win.
I want Ryan to win, but I think Mario Barrios is going to take it because he's been more oiled up. He's been active. Ryan, he's been inactive. His last fight, he came off of a loss against Rolly Romero, and I think right now he just went back to the drawing board just to shake off some ring rust. And he's going to showcase what he did in the gym or in camp the next few days. You know, shout out to Ryan Garcia and Mario Barrios. May the best man win.
Gary Russell Jr. added that he wants Garcia to win because he brings excitement to boxing. He praises Garcia's entertaining personality, playful trash talk, fast hands, and strong footwork, while noting there are still areas where Garcia can improve.
You said you want Ryan to win. Why?
Yeah, man, because I feel like he brings a lot of excitement to the sport. You know, he's a funny guy. He be trolling, you know, but it's entertaining. You know, I like it, you know, and he's a decent fighter as well, you know, fast hands, you know, good feet work, just some things that he got to work on.
Sergio Mora warns that Mario Barrios could be in trouble if he can't match Garcia's quickness, instincts, and reactions. Experience and durability won't matter if Barrios falls for Garcia's traps. Mora adds that when Garcia mixes in feints and disguises his speed, Barrios risks getting caught by his powerful left hand.
Does Barrios, is part of why you would pick Ryan, Barrios lacks the twitch that Tank and Rolly had. You know, those guys are...
That's a good eye, Sean.
Yeah,
that's a good eye.
Yeah.
My trainer used to call it that quick twitch muscle. And if you can't compete with that with your own kind of quickness or your own instinct or your own reaction, then you're gonna fall victim to that sometime in the fight. I don't care how experienced or durable or how much of a champion you are. If Mario Barrios can't compete with it's a little twitchiness, you're gonna fall for that bait, especially if Ryan Garcia starts feinting, which he doesn't do that much. But when he feints and he hides that speed, Barrios is going to be in trouble if he gets clipped by that power, especially that left hand.
Meanwhile, Antonio Tarver thinks the timing is perfect for Ryan Garcia to step up and win a world title. He sees Barrios as tough and reliable, but not unbeatable, making this fight a huge opportunity. In Tarver's view, nights like this don't come often, and the outcome could shape the future of Garcia's career.
Hey, you know what? I think it's a perfect fight for Ryan. I think when you look at the guys that hold the championships, you can look, I believe he has a chance to win this, bro, and become a world champion for the first time in his career. I think it's the perfect opponent when you look at all the other champions. If he can't win this fight, I think it'd be hard pressed for him to win a title. You know, if he's ever gonna win a title in boxing, it's a perfect setup for him, because I just believe when you look at the power of Barrios, it's not really devastating. You know, when you look at his boxing ability, he's a good fighter, but nothing really sticks out as great. You know, I just think he's a solid fighter, but I just don't think he's the best champion out there right now today. Solid fighter, has a belt, but I just don't think he has anything when you look at knockout power, extreme boxing ability, other than his heart.
Chris Alguiri points out Ryan Garcia's star appeal, saying his charisma, athleticism, and flashy style make him a fan favorite. While Garcia hasn't yet won a major world title, like George Kambosos, who built his success through hard work and perseverance, his talent and popularity still make him one of boxing's biggest draws. Alguiri wonders if Garcia will achieve a defining win to match that level of accomplishment.
Popularity, and you mentioned it from the onset about being a star. Kambosos was never a star. Kambosos was never that popular, not the way that Ryan Garcia is. So Ryan's here because of that. And yes, he does have some physical gifts and a ton of physical talent, excuse me, and physical gifts that make him, you know, must-watch TV when he's on. But we haven't seen him on in a long time, and you know he hasn't gotten to that position. It's hard to compare him with George because George was the opposite. George was just a hard worker. George always came in shape, but in terms of talent, he was lacking. He got that big win off of heart and grit, and man, did he cash out on that win, because he made so much money after those fights, got himself into so many opportunities that he never would have gotten if he had lost to Teofimo Lopez and became undisputed. Ryan is still yet to be world champion. These guys are almost like literally polar opposites of each other.
Robert Garcia views this fight as a big challenge for Ryan Garcia, pointing to his speed, power, and skill that could lead to a world title, while warning that even small mistakes could be costly. Mario Barrios comes in with discipline and focus, making him a dangerous opponent. This matchup carries high stakes, with future opportunities in fighters like Devin Haney waiting if Garcia proves himself.
Look, it's a good matchup for Ryan. I think Ryan has the skills, the power, the speed to actually go and become champion, but there's a few things that I see that might not be in his favor. And look, Barrios is dedicated. I know him. He's actually a good friend, a good person, and they chose him because they think Ryan has everything it takes to become champion, to become the world champion, because they're already planning on huge fights with Devin Haney and whatever out there for Ryan.
However, Virgil Hunter remains neutral heading into the Ryan Garcia versus Mario Barrios fight. While he respects Barrios from working with him, he doesn't know Garcia personally, so he sees the matchup completely even. Hunter plans to watch the weigh-in before forming a personal opinion, but stresses that in boxing anything can happen, and the fighter who performs best on the night should come out on top.
Well, usually I don't give predictions, you know, as respect to the fighters, and of course I used to train Mario. He's a great kid and I respect him highly. I don't know Ryan personally. At this stage I got it 50-50. You know, in my own mind, keeping it to myself, I'll probably pick an internal winner inside of myself after the weigh-in, where I can see the weigh-in and how that goes off, and then I won't predict it media-wise, right? But I'll just have it within myself and maybe talk to a few people, keep it confidential. I'm not one to really make predictions because anything can happen in the sport, and I'm not a gambling man, so I don't play the odds or anything like that. Right. So, to the best man win.
Fernando Vargas also expects an exciting matchup between Mario Barrios and Ryan Garcia, but says the result depends on which version of Garcia shows up, the explosive fighter or the one who struggled against Devin Haney. Despite the uncertainty, he leans towards Garcia, praising his sharpness, precise boxing, and excellent control of distance.
Yeah, but I think it's gonna be a great fight. You know, Mario Barrios and. But we gotta see what Garcia shows up. The rolling Garcia, or you know the Garcia.
The Devin Haney.
Yeah.
But that got marked with controversy.
The Devin Haney fight. I mean, we'll see.
Who would you have to give the edge to though, if you had to go one way or the other?
I'll give the edge to Garcia.
Why is that?
I think that he's sharp. He's sharp. He is sharp at at his boxing. He's sharp at his boxing. He knows he knows his distance. You know what I mean? And I think that's why I kind of lean on a little bit more on him than I would Barrios.
That's a wrap for today's video. Let us know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more exciting content.